2, 1, go, go, go!
So here's an actual awesome arcade find that I found at a garage sale that I found on Craigslist. And the guy didn't list a price or anything. He just said that there was a couple arcade boards for sale and whatnot, and it wasn't too far away from me. It was in Downers Grove, which is only like 35 minutes away from here, so no big deal. And the guy had a bunch of more things than I expected. He said he had a couple items and whatnot, and I didn't know how much he was charging, so I was skeptical. And you know, any arcade things that's near, I just, you know, figured that I might as well check out. But yeah, he had a lot of stuff for sale, as you can see. I got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arcade boards. Well, the cart, Fatal Fury cart, but still, the guy had a bunch of stuff for sale. And the story was, as we went to me and my girlfriend, we went to the garage sale, and we walked up to the place, and right away I could tell it was just, you know, not some like huge arcade operator guy, you know, just some regular Joe selling some arcade boards, because it was like the wife was outside selling them and whatnot. And we walk up and we go, well, how much is one of the boards? And she said she had no clue, so she had to go get her husband. He comes back out, and he just throwing like the cheapest of prices at me. 10 bucks, 20 bucks, $5, just, you know, crazy good prices for these. And he's like, I don't know if they work. He got them from when an arcade was closing, an arcade operator was closing, and he doesn't know if they work, but the last time he tried, they did. So, and they haven't been touched. They were stored away in a box since then. So, I mean, he offered me an awesome deal. It was like $40 for that box right there, filled with all these arcade boards. And after plugging it in and doing a little research, I found out I got, it isn't the best games in the world, but I got WWF WrestleFest, made by Technos, and that's pretty cool. I haven't got a real chance to play around on these that much. I pretty much just plugged them in, making sure they were working. Some of the capacitors on a couple of these are leaking, and I actually, before turning on this board, this is the I consider probably the best board I found this whole lot. It's a Demon World. I think this is a Technos too. I guess it's a pretty uncommon board. I don't know how rare or not it is, but when I first got it, I was like, I'm not even going to turn this on without replacing the capacitors. A bunch of the capacitors in the sound section were just splurting out all the electrolytic, you know, the electrolytic, whatever, the goop inside of them, and they were just everywhere. But so I resoldered that, and that was awful. I don't know why it was so hard to put new caps in it, but I ended up doing that. Turned it on, and it worked great. It was extremely loud at first, so I knew that worked, and that was an awesome find. And then he told me right away that he had a bunch of run and gun boards, and I guess this is the first run and gun for the Konami board. I was really hoping for like a Sunset Riders or some real cool Konami game, but no, they're just like Run and Gun and Run and Gun 2. It's like some basketball game, and I don't think you can convert these games over, but I'm not exactly sure. This is Run and Gun, and this board over here on the Konami GX is Run and Gun 2. The thing that sucks about this board is he gave me the cable. There's supposed to, on the JAMA connector here, there's supposed to be a little subboard that handles all the 3D rendering, and it didn't come with that. So I mean, it works, there's sound and all that, but like all you see is like shadows of figures and junk jumping around, and because I don't have that board, and I don't know if you can convert this game either. I would like to. There's some pretty cool games that run on the Konami GX. So, but that one works. And then he also gave me a, it was like a brand new Samurai Showdown 3 box, and it has all the artwork and the posters and everything. It hasn't even been touched, but no cart. But that's alright. But that was like, I think he said like $3 or something like that. And then I sold this game. I have no idea why. This was like the first game I got in my Neo Geo, And then let me tell you, it's not the best game in the world, at least in my opinion. And I sold it to some place in Chicago for like $5, $4. I don't know why. I just did. I got Metal Slug X and I swapped them out for the 2, and I was like, oh, well, I don't need it anymore. But I got this thing back. This was like $5 or whatever you equivalent all this stuff out to. And then got that with the 2 mini marquees. I haven't tested that out, but I'm sure it works just fine. He also gave me a CPS2 board, X-Men Children of the Atom. I haven't tested this out. I hope the battery's not dead on it, but it's in pretty good shape. All this stuff was in good shape, and then I tried to actually put this out to the side. This is like some NBA Jam soundboard. I'm probably just gonna end up selling this, or maybe even just taking the ROMs off and scrapping it or whatever. And then what got me really excited when I was going through this is I saw this inside, and I was like, no freaking way. I like nearly bricked myself there, but no, there was no Punisher. I wish there was, and some Midway tag, and yeah, I guess the story is this guy used to work at Midway, so he had a bunch of Midway junk. He had like Blitz and all that, but I ended up passing on Blitz, and he had a Marlin, Blue Marlin, Konami System 573. It was like a brand new kit, but it's Blue Marlin. So what the hell am I going to do with that? But then what the hell am I going to do with all this? Either way. And then this right here, this is a Konami Hornet system. This is the same sort of system that runs Silent Scope. And I was really hoping it was to be Silent Scope, but it's not. It's NBA play-by-play and another basketball sort of game. I don't think you can convert these over, but I'm not sure. I'm probably just going to end up selling this. It works fine. It actually even came with, I turned it on at first and it wouldn't fire up, and then I plugged this little board in. I guess this is like the graphics rendering board or something like that. It's like an I/O board that you have to have plugged in for it to work right, and that works great. And I ended up picking a Atari 5200 up while I was there. No controllers or anything like that. No switch box. It's the big 4 controller model, and he said he had no idea if it worked, but it was like $10. And I actually just ended up making a switch box, and I'll put a description and a link how to make that if you're wondering how to do that, because it was $10 and it works great. I just need to get a controller and junk now, and everything Atari 5200 wise is so expensive and nobody wants them and blah blah blah, but it's cool. I found a bunch of 5200 games a while ago, so I really need to pick one up, and I finally did. And let's see, besides all this junk, another awesome thing is he had a bunch of posters. Since like I said, he worked for Midway just up the way. He had a bunch of promotional stuff. Unfortunately, he didn't have any prototypes, or he claimed he had some Penguin or some Pogo, some sort of prototype board, but he said he was gonna sell it on eBay or something. I don't know why he didn't sell all this junk, but good for me. But he did have a bunch of posters that I did pick up. He had a whole ton of these in a box. He had the Grid, I guess, which he himself actually worked on the game, which I thought was pretty awesome. He did some of the programming for it, the system link in the cabinets. I guess he did some of the programming and all that junk. And they had these Hydro Thunder posters, which I thought were awesome. I gotta get a Hydro Thunder cab one of these days. And yeah, he had a whole box of these, and they were like $1 a piece. I don't know why I didn't buy all of them. I was just in so awe of how cheap he was actually, offering the PCBs for. So I was just like, screw it, get what I can get and go before the guy changes his mind. I got this Hydro Thunder promotional poster. This one's almost by far my favorite. And this is what kind of got me hoping that I had a Silent Scope board, because he had the promotional poster, and that's awesome too. I mean, he had these 4, and then he had some like Harley game. I wasn't really interested in the Harley, so I picked those 4 up, and yeah, so that's my arcade pickup. It's pretty awesome, and yeah, thanks for watching.